Alright, so this is going to be parrot trouble, and so again we're just continuing these coding bats, right? So I don't think we've done parrot trouble yet, so you can see that there is a solution on the side. So let me go ahead and reset that. Let's go back to here like that. And so I want you guys to follow your steps. First of all, go through your instructions here. Second of all, go through your input outputs, and then go through and make sure that whatever code you write can actually complete all of these completely and successfully. Alright, so I'll give you a couple minutes for that before I go ahead and show you the solution. Alright, so now that it's been enough time, we can go ahead and go through the solution. So after reading the question carefully, you'll notice that the two parameters we are given are talking and hour, right? And also our method type is going to be Boolean. Yeah. So it's make sure you're very familiar with this type of syntax, because it's basically like an extra part of the instructions, right? Just confirming what you know. So it says the hour parameter is the current hour in the range 0 to 23, and we are in trouble if the parrot is talking and the hour is before 7 or after 20, right? So our first one is if talking is equal to true, and if hour is less than 7 or hour is greater than 20, just like that. Now it's extremely important not to get confused at this step, right? You're given these two, but you don't quite know what to do with it. Well, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to combine these using and it's important to use your parentheses here, because otherwise the computer doesn't know what in the world you're talking about, right? So in this case, we'll put everything into parentheses so the computer knows exactly, and then we can return true if we are in trouble, and if it doesn't return true, then we want to return false, right? And oops, we have an extra parentheses. It says it expects another parentheses. Am I missing something? Why don't we go ahead and relook at this code over, right? Oh, this is the wrong language. It's important that you use the correct syntax. It's actually these. Alright. Okay. And yeah, we need to make sure we have our we have all our syntax correct. Alright, so at this point in time, we want to think, right? Does this actually, does this work out for us? And, it does. We did get all the cases correct. So now it's important for you guys to see, alright, now that we've gotten all these cases, I want you guys to run through every single one of them. And once you've run through every single one of them, you can realize, oh, okay, now you understand, like, okay, this is exactly how this code works. So I'll give you guys another 2 minutes for that, and then after 2 minutes, I'll go ahead and switch over to the next program for us to go over. All right, another 30 seconds. Alrighty, so hopefully you guys understand all the outputs here, and now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next question. So we go ahead and we click next. Alright, so now we have makes 10. Again, go to the exact same steps, right? Read the instructions, go to the outputs, check your code. A couple minutes for this one. One more minute. Alrighty, hopefully that's enough time for you guys to go over this. So now we can go over our solutions here. So essentially, first thing we want to check on is how we are going to, actually, what exactly are we going to return, essentially. Like how we're going to return our answer, right? That's the most important question here. So in this case, again, only thing we have to do is look at that keyword, that purple keyword, and it says Boolean in this case, meaning that we are returning Boolean. You notice that in like all of these, almost all of these at least, we are like basically always returning Boolean. That's because Boolean is like the simplest data type, right? It's 1 and 0, true or false. There's no other complicated part of this, right? So that's like the that's essentially why in the world they would always have you go ahead and return Boolean. Now that we've moved on from that, we look at this, and it says, given two ints, return true if one of them 10, or if their sum is 10. Again, it is another conditional statement, and it is another only if statement, right? So essentially we want to see if A is equal to 10, if B is equal to 10, or if A plus B is equal to 10. Right, so all we have to do is we have to take these conditions, just like that, and we put an OR between all of them. Right, and we're going to do that, oops, and we return true if it meets any of these conditions, and return false if it doesn't. And we can see we get all of these cases correct. Now, again, it's a slightly complicated program, but it's not really, it's nothing, really serious. Hopefully you should be pretty comfortable with these types of problems, alright? Yeah, so there's just really not too much. Now, go ahead and go ahead and check the alpha cases, and then we can finish up for today. So we'll do a little bit of an early release, because today's Friday, it's the end of the quarter. I'm sure you guys are all tired. Alright, so this is the last problem for today. Just make sure you understand how these outputs work, and ask questions if you want, if you have any, or if you need to. Alright, so again, just 2 minutes, and then we'll wrap it up, I guess. Alright, so hopefully you don't have any questions. Alright, and I guess I'll see you guys next week.